They were, years ago, were just ranch girls that would come to rodeos. And Thena, May, and Nancy had gotten together and said, well, let's put on the All Girl Rodeo in Amarillo in 1947, which they did. We had all the events, bull riding, bareback riding. We had one or two ladies done saddle bronc riding. We had tie-down roping. We didn't have breakaway roping like they do nowadays. Run barrels. But anyway, they paid out money. And then from here, I think it was in 48, we had another one in Amarillo, and then we went to San Angelo. And some of the ranch girls and other women come in and said, well, we want to have a barrel race next week, but we want to have some standard as what distance to put the barrels in. And therefore, about 77 of us women got together and formed the GRA, which is now the WPRA. And after we'd have a rodeo back in those days, everybody would go home and we'd say, now we're having a rodeo in 2 or 3 weeks. You can be sure and come because we got to put on a good show for the audience. Well, nowadays there's so many barrel racers and breakaway ropers. They have slack time just like the cowboys do. Because there'll be hundreds show up to run a barrel or rope a calf, which I'm glad for them. Well, I was a contract performer at rodeos since the mid-30s. I was a trick rider and trick roper, and then had a jumping horse. And at the Girls Rodeo, they decided they wanted a female clown. And my dad volunteered me to be a female clown because my brother had been a clown. So I became the official clown of the All Girl Rodeos. And also competed in barrel racing. No, not barrel racing, calf roping. I thought barrel racing was a little dangerous. You might run into a barrel, so I got on 2 bulls instead. We had a crowd there in Amarillo, and they had a sold-out event. Sold-out crowd. It was wonderful. Everybody that was there in the room thought it was time to set some standards. And so when it was formed, and we were told later that the GRA is older than the Women's Professional Golf Association, and the GRA is run by all women. There's no men running the GRA. Well, at the time, I retired from rodeoing in '53, and they changed the name to the WPRA, and more women got involved, and they started having barrel racing and breakaway roping back in junior high, high school, and college. And so it made a better event to go with the boys' rodeo. And now the girls are winning some wonderful money, and I'm so proud of them. I know I pretty well clowned from 47 until 53, the girl rodeos, and I can't even tell you how many we had in that period of time. I forget things even now, but then I thought, why remember them? I'm going to go to another rodeo, but we rodeoed like in Texas. We've rodeoed in, we rodeoed here in Oklahoma City at the fairgrounds one time. We've been to Tulsa at the rodeo, and at the All Girl Rodeo. But when I retired from rodeoing, I totally retired from rodeo. I didn't get involved with the WPRA or anything. But I think it's wonderful that what we formed in 1948 has provided for the women to be able to travel by themselves or with their husbands and win money, and they're good at what they do. Most of the women that's been on ranches definitely know how to rope a calf. Well, I knew them as ranch women. I'd been to Nancy's ranch. It's out west of Amarillo, where I live. And Thena May's down in Seymour. I've helped her gather cattle more than once. Just hard working, and like all of us as we're growing up, you like horses, like to ride, but you want to go do something besides ride a pasture all day and then go home. And it's more fun than to go rodeo. And you see your friends. I've got met women that I would have never met if it hadn't been for the Girls Rodeo.
Mm-hmm.
They've done real good with their organization, and they've gotten good money now, and they even have the finals out in Vegas
Mm-hmm.
in the fall of the year. Entry fee maybe was $15, and if you could win gas money and maybe pay $10 or $15 a night for a motel room, you was having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Now the entry fee can be as high as $100 to $500,
Right.
but also you can, at the end of the year, you can win close to $100,000. And if you've done good over the years, some of the women have won up to $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just wonderful. Well, as a clown, I dress as a clown,
Mm-hmm.
the way they do. My brother had been a clown at the RCA rodeos.
Mm-hmm.
And in a slack time at the rodeo, if they're having trouble getting the horse settled down or the calf to come out straight, you'd sort of tell a joke or act silly or anything to amuse the crowd.
Uh-huh.
They don't know they're being amused, but they are.
Right.
It was okay. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
But as I say, I started rodeoing in the mid-30s, and by 1953, I'd had all the rodeo I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Also got married that year,
Mm-hmm.
and he'd not to a rodeo cowboy.
How big?
He knew some of what I'd done, but
Uh-huh.
he never, I don't believe I did come to a rodeo one time
Mm-hmm.
where I was clowning and roping. In the 40s, everybody'd show up. You might have a horse trailer that you could convert and sleep in it at night.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they pull these long trailers that hold 4 or 5 horses, have a nice place to live in the front end of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different ball game,
Yeah.
but it's wonderful. The people of rodeo, both the cowboys and the cowgirls, are wonderful, wonderful people. If they tell you so they'll do something, they'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
They're a man and woman of their word. They would be very pleased and proud of it, and I'm so thankful that the hall is putting them in, and I'm very glad to be able to receive it for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because at my age, there's not a whole lot of ladies that was in the GRA at that time that are still living.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm just extremely proud to be here, accept the award for them.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of good times together. Make fun of some people and laugh at ourselves when we goofed up. But both of those ladies were ranch women,
Yeah.
and they knew how to rope and work with horses and cattle. They both rode cutting horses. Ranch women know what they're doing.
They sure do.
And I sometimes think, of course, now when I watch the Cowboy Channel, you see the young women today start barrel racing or breakaway roping in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go to college, and then they turn pro.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time they get into pro, they definitely are good.
Mm, oh,
But
yeah.
even the best roper can miss a calf, and the best barrel racer can knock over a barrel.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you think, boy, if I can just make around that barrel one more time, I'll win the average.
Mm-hmm.
Something happens and you knock over a barrel,
Yeah.
that adds 5 points,
Yeah.
5 seconds. It was a good bunch of people.